collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Blokees Transformers Galaxy Version Episode 6. So this is our 6th wave of Galaxy Version Transformers from Blokees. And you can see we have the IDW iterations of Optimus and Megatron here on the front, because apparently we always have to have some version of Optimus in just about every wave that we have. Taking a look at the full case breakdown here on the front, it looks like there is some blue variant of Optimus, which I'm kind of hoping I don't get, because honestly I'd rather just have the normal version of Optimus. But then you have the IDW Optimus and Megatron. You have G1 Sunstreaker and Wheeljack, along with Swoop, continuing on with the Dinobots in both Robot Mode and Dino Mode. Then we have our first Insecticon with Kickback. Then we're moving into the Conehead Seekers with Dirge. And then we have Shattered Glass Ratchet for some reason, which is kind of a weird pull. But sure, just something they can reuse since they already did regular Ratchet. So we're getting Shattered Glass Ratchet there. But yeah, looks like a pretty good case breakdown. If we go ahead and open the box here, which is always a little challenging due to how massive these flaps are. We'll move in and pull out one of the boxes. You can see we've got that IDW Optimus there on the front, and then there's Megatron on the side. So if you kind of look at it like this, you can see them kind of clashing, which is kind of neat. Over here you have the breakdown for everything that's included. Not really anything going on the bottom. On the back, just kind of showing you the 1-to-1 scale about how big they are, which is, of course, 10 centimeters or 4 inches. And then not really anything going on the top. So pretty excited for this one. I think it's a pretty good lineup. I'm going to go ahead, get them all put together, and we'll take a closer look. So here are all 9 figures fully assembled. You can tell right off the bat I did not get the variant for Optimus, which is fine with me because I really didn't want an all-blue weird variant. But yeah, this guy looks pretty good. You can see he's got the orange eyes, which look really cool. He's got these shoulder cannons, which look great. And they kind of have this like tire piece connected to it, so it looks like he's got the tires popping out of the shoulder, which I think looks really good. You can see the design here on the chest. So all of the detail here is either tampoed stickers or like different colored plastic or paint. So there are no stickers that you have to apply yourself, which is really nice. He's also got these cannons here on the forearms, as well as his giant weapon, which has a little blast effect, which is pretty cool. Just pops into the end of the barrel there. Looks pretty good. So articulation for these has pretty much been the same since they came out, but the head's on a ball joint, so you can look... I can't really look down all that much. His head is actually really tight for some reason. Definitely looks side to side, but I can't really get too much else out of it. I think maybe because, you know, it's hard with these pieces on the shoulders here, but, you know, it still just really doesn't move around all that much. Others have a little bit more, but you have a ball joint here in the shoulder, so you can kind of go all the way out to the side as well as rotate around. You have a swivel here right above the elbow. Then you have a 90-degree bend in the elbow. You have a ball joint in the hand. You have a swivel here in the waist. You have ball joints in the hips. You can kick pretty far forward, out to the side, back. All that looks pretty good. Then you have a swivel right above the knee, as well as a 90-degree bend in the knee. And then you have a ball joint for the ankle. So really nice articulation for these. I really like what Blokees has done with these. I have all 6 waves, so definitely not stopping anytime soon. But yeah, IDW Optimus Prime, it looks pretty good. I really like the orange eyes. I didn't think I would, but it just really pops for something different. I like that quite a bit. So moving on now to IDW Megatron. He actually has the Autobot symbol, which I think is really cool for that time in the comics when he switched factions. Now, the one thing I did think was weird, so you can see the shoulder pads here. They actually have these tank treads done with tampoed stickers, but the directions and the packaging and everything I've seen says to put them on the back. And that just seems like a waste to me. I might end up switching them later on, but it just seems like they would look cooler on the front. But I do love, you know, you have the whole tank turret here on the back. That looks really good. The cannon here on the forearm also has the blast effect, which you just pop into the end of the blaster. Looks really good. He has all the same articulation. Honestly, they all pretty much have the same articulation. If anything's different, I'll point it out. But yeah, looks really good. All that tampoed sticker design works really well. You have some paint down here for the shins and the side of the legs. And all that looks really, really sharp. I think they did a really good job with this. So we'll move these 2 guys off to the side, and we'll move into the rest of the group here. I guess we'll do Shattered Glass Ratchet first, since everything else is G1. But he actually looks pretty good. I mean, the colors for Shattered Glass Ratchet are pretty great. You have this kind of dark teal. It's kind of a almost like matte green teal. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a really great color of green there. And the purple, you know, the red eyes look great. All of this detail here on the chest looks really nice. And then he has this little blaster here. Pretty simple, but looks good. I like him quite a bit. Looking pretty good there. Next up, we have Sunstreaker, which I think looks amazing. They did a really great job with Sunstreaker. All the detailing here on the chest looks great. I think the shoulder pads look fantastic. The head sculpt there looks really good. You have the backpack piece there, which looks really good as well. He's got his blaster. Nice detail here on the shins. Oh, and something else I forgot to mention. Every one of these comes with a closed fist set of hands, as you can see that they all have equipped right now. But they also have an open set of hands. So every character has 2 sets of hands, completely splayed out like this, or closed fist. So you can mix and match, do whatever you want. But it is nice that every figure has that. They also come with these little cards that I haven't really shown off. So they have these kind of cool holofoil little cards here, which are very nice. And then on the back you have, I don't know, a QR code that probably does something, but I really don't know what. But yeah, so I like the little cards. And the other thing that I actually thought was neat, which is a change for this time around, the little insert that comes included is actually specific to each character, which is something completely new. Usually they would give you one that just kind of showed like the main character, probably Optimus, and then on the back it would show you like certain little pieces that were different for some of the unique characters. But I think because this wave has a lot of crazy stuff going on, they decided to do a completely unique insert for every different character, which I really appreciate. So I just wanted to show this off. So here's Dino Mode Swoop. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but I just thought that was really neat. And I appreciate that because it really takes the guesswork out. Sometimes when you're putting these together, it can get a little confusing. 90% of the construction for these is usually pretty similar. But every once in a while, you run into some unique stuff. But here is Sunstreaker. He looks fantastic. Really love how he came out. Next up, we got Wheeljack. Another one that I feel like is a long time coming. But he came out fantastic as well. All of this detail here. You have a separate inlaid piece of blue plastic here for the windshield that looks amazing. And then all of this kind of tampoed sticker work really looks great. He's got a little blaster there as well. I think that's, yeah, it's the same as Sunstreaker's, but that's fine. It looks good. And then he's got the cannon here on the shoulder. That's on a ball joint. It's a little tight, but that is on a ball joint. He's even got this design here on the back. And then he's got these wings that you can swivel up and down a little bit if you so desire. But yeah, he came out great. Now we're getting into some of my favorites because these are just out of control good. Like, so we have Kickback. They include a little shrapnel in insect mode. This is a little build you have to put together, a couple different pieces, but really, really cool. Like, I like this a lot. This definitely was not needed, but it's such a fun little thing just to kind of, you know, because with the Insecticons, you know, they clone themselves and there's usually swarms of them. And so you can kind of have, it's funny that they didn't include like a little Kickback insect mode because obviously these don't transform, but for whatever reason, it's just neat. Like, I really would like to have the 3 of them kind of as the generals and then just have swarms of these little guys. I just think that's such a fun little thing to include. It looks good too. No issues there. But yeah, Kickback just came out great. I mean, the head looks fantastic. The chest, separate piece of yellow plastic there. The gun looks amazing. All of the detail down here on the legs. The wings came out great. All of that looks really sharp. The little antenna, just everything about him looks so good. I really like how he came out. And then we got Dirge. Dirge is crazy. So he's got the cone head, which is great. Now, because of that, his ball joint is really stiff as well. I can't even hardly turn it to the side. You can, but it's kind of difficult. But he doesn't really have much like front to back tilt or anything. But the head sculpt there looks great. The cone head's great. You have the cannons here on the arm, which is fantastic. He's got these extra little wing pieces here on the back, which are on like little ball joints, so you could move them around if you wanted to. Then he's got these big wing pieces that connect to the side of the leg. And if you want to have them out to the side, you absolutely can. If you like to fold them back, you can. Whatever you prefer, maybe 45-degree angle, something like that. But just really nice gold paint there with some tampoed stickers. just they went all out for the Coneheads. I'm really excited to see what they do with Ramjet and Thrust because Dirge looks phenomenal. Just really, really well done. I love having the wing pieces here on the legs, which is something the traditional Seekers don't have. So I love the attention to detail there. He just came out really, really cool. I really like him. And then we get into our Dinobot. We have Swoop. Swoop looks amazing. They even have the little tiny pterodactyl feet here on the shins or the kneecaps. You have the wings here, which have articulation. You can bend them there. You can also bend them here. You have the missile pods. If you want to take the missile pods off and have him use them as weapons, you absolutely can. They're a little stuck. There we go. So you can pop them into his hand if you want to have him use those as weapons. I kind of just like the look of them on the wings, and you can do either. So they just pop right back on there. I love the head sculpt. I love the pterodactyl head on the chest there. All of that tampo detail really, really looks good. He came out fantastically. I do kind of wish you could bend these back all the way because technically that's how he's supposed to transform, but I'm fine with it. They wanted to reuse the wing pieces for both the Dino mode and the robot mode because obviously it saves them money to do that. And they've got some great detail on there, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, he came out great. He really, really looks good. And then getting into the pterodactyl mode, it actually comes with a little flight stand on the base, which pegs into the backpack here, which is really nice. I really appreciate that. The other ones just have the standard base, but this one actually has the little flight stand accessory. And it's really cool because you can tilt the head all the way back. So while he's flying around, you know, you can kind of have the feet back. And then he's got this little blast accessory that fits into his mouth, which looks amazing. But if you want, you can take this out. And you can kind of have him like just land and stand on his little legs if you just want him to kind of stand, which I think is really great. So I love that you have the option. You can have him kind of stand like this, or you can tilt the head back, have him fly, and then kind of have the wings or the feet kind of, you know, back. He's got the little tail here. So yeah, they did a great job with him. I really, really like this a lot. I think they did such a good job. I love that the head has that range of motion. Of course, it can go all over the place, and the mouth does open and close, which is nice. So yeah, he came out great. And I love the inclusion of the little flight stand. You just peg that on there. This part's on a ball joint, so you can move that all around however you like to do it. Technically, well, I was going to say, unfortunately, because it doesn't peg into the bottom, like it would be nice if there was a way you could also peg it in like this to have him flying, but you do kind of have to peg it into the back here and just kind of have him maybe hovering in place or something. Or you could try to do it like this, I guess. And you could have it like, yeah, that'll work. That'll work. But yeah, really cool. I really like this a lot. So this is a pretty solid wave. Both forms of Swoop came out great. Dirge is amazing. Kickback is amazing. Wheeljack and Sunstreaker are great. Even the IDW versions of Megatron and Optimus have really grown on me. I didn't think they would, but they have. And then you got Shattered Glass Ratchet. And there's nothing against Shattered Glass Ratchet. It just feels really out of place in this wave. And it was just a simple reuse for them. They just wanted something that they could easily reuse and slightly recolor. And it's fine. I mean, I really don't have a problem. We've had Shattered Glass Prime before, so he's got a buddy now. But just like I said, it's mostly G1, and then you have two IDWs, which I get. They want to have a new version of Prime all the time, something, you know, exciting. And then you just got Shattered Glass Ratchet. But, you know, he's fine. He's fine. So, yeah, really solid wave. Really like these quite a bit. Like I did mention, you have the open set of hands for everybody as well. So you can give them one of each or both of either. So you have some nice options there. They all have accessories. Some of them even have blast effects. You can't go wrong with these. You really can't. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to do a group shot of the Dinobots here. Just missing Sludge. Sludge is my favorite, and he always gets the short end of the stick. I don't know why they skipped. You would think they would do the first original three and then these two. Don't get me wrong, I want all five, so I don't really care what order they come out in. I just really hope they don't skip over Sludge, because like I said, he is my favorite. And I was so bummed when they did that combiner in Legacy, and Sludge was so terrible. But I know when they finally get to him here, it'll be good. But I love seeing the four of them together here, and I just can't wait for Sludge. And of course, we have to take a look at them all together as dinos as well. Like I said, really shaping up nice. I really like how these have come out. They've done a really good job. Honestly, it's kind of sad. I think Grimlock was the one they did first, and I kind of think, not that there's anything particularly wrong with him, but I think he probably came out the worst because I feel like they've just gotten better over time. And Snarl and Slag both really look good in Dino mode. They did a really nice job. Open up. And they all have the connectors there. And you could use this effect piece from Swoop here on any of these. Just peg this in, and you could do something like that. I wish they all came with one of these. That's my only complaint. But yeah, these are looking good. And I cannot wait for Sludge. And I really, really want them to hurry up and give us Sludge in the next one. So like I said, really solid wave. Honestly, I like all these guys. I keep picking on Shattered Glass Ratchet, but there's nothing wrong with Shattered Glass Ratchet. It's a great color scheme. It's fun that they're kind of doing a little bit more with Shattered Glass. I think that's a lot of fun. We've got 2 now. We'll see if that continues to go. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely still some more things we could do in terms of G1. Obviously, we need Sludge in both Dino mode and Robot mode, so I feel like he's got to be in the next wave. Obviously, they've started the Insecticons now, having finished with the Constructicons, so I feel like they can just give us Shrapnel and Bombshell. Now that they've started the Coneheads as well, we're going to need Thrust and Ramjet. I feel like in terms of like Season 1 Autobots, we still need like Hoist and Trailbreaker. And I feel like that's one that they could make, you know, one mold and just tweak slightly because they shared the same mold back in the day as well. Otherwise, I feel like we have most of the Season 1 Autobots, but of course, I would love to see Blaster, Power Glide. We did get Beachcomber in that Shining version, so maybe they'll sneak a regular version of him into one of these days. You know, all the mini-bots, obviously, Sea Spray would be fantastic, so I would love to see the triple changers. You know, I love these little Insecticon guys. There's so much more they could do. I hope they keep going. We're 6 waves in, and I still love them as much as I did on Wave 1. But I do feel like they're getting better. Like, again, not to say that anything wrong with Wave 1, but you can see little improvements, like the book being specific to each character. You know, new unique pieces that really kind of beef them up, like Swoop's wings or the wings on Dirge's feet, or legs, I should say. Just how well Kickback came out. The wings there look amazing. Megatron looks good. Like, you can feel like they're really hitting their stride in terms of the extra accessories for like backpacks and things like that. And just really, really doing a great job. Every wave is just a little bit better than the last. So I hope these continue for a good long while. Knock on wood. And yeah, definitely recommend checking these out. I got mine from Joy Toy World, but you can also find them on like AliExpress. I think even like BBTS sells these. I've seen the first wave starting to show up at Walmarts and whatnot, and you can get them there, and it's not a bad thing. I think they're even on clearance already. You know how Walmart's crazy. But the problem with that is they're just throwing individual boxes on a shelf or a little end side cap cubicle thing. And so you're much more likely to get duplicates that way. If you just want to make sure you get one of each from the wave, just buy a solid box, whether Joy Toy World, BBTS, AliExpress, and that way you're guaranteed to get one of every character. The variant is a possibility. So like if you buy a case, you'll get all 9. Your Optimus may be the variant, or it'll probably be the normal one, but you'll get the other 8. So that's the way I recommend doing it, so you don't run into a ton of duplicates, because I've seen people trying to pick them up at Walmart and saying like, oh, I got 8 Ironhides, and Ironhide's great, but you don't need 8. In any case, this is a really fun wave. I definitely recommend checking them out. I've really been enjoying what Blokees has been doing for Transformers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.